Okay, let's move on to learner ownership and what that looks like when you're implementing into a personalized learning classroom and how you can level up. So, learner ownership. In phase four, we really wanted to promote gamification. There's a lot of talk also out there about micro credentials. This might be a place where students earn different badges or reward systems for completing different learning targets. In phase five, the learner develops rubrics that will showcase the mastery of learning targets. They develop the rubrics. They're the ones who say, this is good, this is okay, this is better, so on and so forth. In phase six, we get the guidance of their personal learning network. So we actually reach out to their personal learning network outside the classroom walls and we ask them to help them to determine if they have mastery. What skills are they missing? How can we improve? Think of it as almost in this personalized learning environment, they become like these interns, and these interns are developing their skills as they go along. There's no A or B, it's just a mastery of completion. You understand how to do this learning target. So, how do we level up? So, when we level up, we really talk about what I said, like those micro credentials, progression boards, and then develop those into the learning environment, how you can actually have that gamification going along with it. Learner develops their own gamification. So, we showed them some examples, and now they develop a game where they are showing their progression through the learning targets. It doesn't have to be glorified, it could just be something simple like a Monopoly board. And then we can set up virtual meetings. So they have check-ins, like maybe weekly or daily check-ins with their outside personal learning network to showcase how does that look like? What is your progress on your job? What are you doing with your invention? How can we as that learning network help you to move forward? Now let's talk about co-learning spaces. Co-learning spaces came from the idea of the workforce. They now develop these co-workspaces where people that go and learn and work together. You might have an IT guy with a business owner who's developing music. You might have a graphic design person. All of these people work in the same space doing their job, but it's just a kind of community building. But we're going to develop that in our classroom. So what is a co-learning space starting out with? We have to think about the learner setting it up. They design the flexible seating options. They talk about how they want to have the room set up. Is it a cafe? Is it loungy? And what happens when somebody's on the phone talking? Is there a certain protocol? The learners take over the environment and they design and create their co-learning space. In phase five, since they are all working there together, they have to be accountable. Are they mastering their learning targets? Are they getting their stuff done? Are they completing the different projects? Because we think of this as like a unit, a combined learning environment where even though I might be doing a passion project about this, we are still progressing through this learning together. And then in phase six, we need a maintenance crew. So they're in charge of this space and getting and ordering new furniture. And we're having somebody come and clean it up. They're the ones who are paying the bills to make sure that the space is still open. So again, teaching them business skills and maintaining a learning environment. So how do we level up? We definitely go visit a co-work space. Take the kids out there, go see one. And if you can't physically go there, do a Zoom call. I am sure there will be tons of people who'd be willing to do this. Provide examples of agile boards. This is really important because you're going to be holding different learners accountable for their projects to show them what it looks like in a workforce. What does an agile board look like? And then showcase samples of choice boards for like chore boards. I'm sorry, not choice boards. Chore boards for getting things done and completed. Who's in charge of what? Who's going to be paying X, Y, and Z? But again, really transition over that environment to the learner. Now let's talk about the facilitator role. We've been spending a lot of time talking about the learner, so what is the facilitator doing? Well, in phase four, number one priority is making sure those profile cards are up, running, and they're up to date. We want to make sure if things change, if the kids need to do something, that we are looking at their learning styles, we're looking at the learning targets. The facilitator is really diving in deep to make sure that each individual student is on the right path. The learning targets in phase five. So we set up daily, weekly, or monthly stand-ups. Again, this goes back to that work environment where you have like quick little stand-up meetings talking about where are you, where you need to go, what challenges you have, and how can we help you to move forward. In phase six, again, the facilitator is not being talked out of their job. We're keeping you there. You're really important. So we need to do more feedback, giving them information, making sure that they're meeting their learning targets as well as designing their company. This is going to be fun. I think that when we get these personalized learning environments up and running, the facilitator is going to really enjoy their new role of making sure that everything happens. I kind of think of this as more of like a project manager at this point in time. I'm still teaching, I'm still giving you information, but I'm really progressing and turning over that role and responsibility to the learner. How do we level up? We conduct individual conferences. Number 1, in order to get those profile cards up and running, start with the individual conference, get them to understand why it's important to fill out the profile cards, and get the students working on developing those profile cards. To level up to phase 5, we're going to set up daily meetings. Just quick daily stand up, talk about where they are, what do they want to accomplish during their learning environment day. And then next, going into phase 6, we really want to make sure that we are implementing and showcasing data folders with feedback, concrete data, showing that the students are progressing through their learning targets. So again, that's a project manager feel where we are making sure that the students are getting their stuff done, but they're in charge of it. We're just double checking. And if they get stuck and they're a roadblock, we're there to give them and provide them information or resources to learn through that learning target. So that was our personalized learning level up activities. I hope you enjoyed these videos, and go ahead and make sure you complete the worksheet that goes along with this module where you can take and explore more of those level up options.